Alright everyone, welcome back to Olympus. Today we had a banger of a trade. We got a 60 point move, 63 to be exact, 63 point move from the overnight session and into power hour. Here you can see, let's see, 40.15, got out at 40.78. Alright, let's switch over to the ES chart where I have all my TA. So, previous 2 days, right, we were trading this falling wedge, big one, right? Monday, quite a bit of chop, mostly just trended down, just very slowly. Not the best day to play options on this day. Didn't do too well on Monday, but going into the overnight session, right, we close. Where do we close? 40.40, somewhere around there. We're still in this wedge, right? I don't like to play solely off a chart pattern breakout or breakdown, but this was a case in which we sort of did, right? So I use what we call single prints, and when we talk about single prints, I'm referring to the TPO or the time profile. And TradingView doesn't have this feature, but Trade08 does, and this is what I basically use to sort of get my levels and my entries, exits, and such. So we had some single prints left from last Wednesday, right? We had a big trend day that day, but we left some single prints. And single prints are areas in which sometimes we get, well, I guess when we get over them, right? We leave single prints, and when we come back to it, buyers want to defend it, or else we would have probably seen a move lower today. But today, we defended it, or I guess in the overnight session, they defended it, right? They quickly came down to it, got within it, and never fully filled it. And that was basically my entry to go long. But so we had a limit buy at 40.15, set a stop loss at 4,000. The stop loss was that big just because I was in MES instead of ES. My risk was a little bit, I was able to risk a little bit more, and I only traded one con. I grabbed one and then went to bed, right, with the stop loss in place. Woke up kind of late this morning, but was happy to see us work our way upwards. But so my profit target, right, going into today was, initially it was the high of Monday. So we were actually working up here, chopping. We get a little breakout. Don't really hit my profit target yet, but sort of come down. Power hour comes around, sort of dip back a little bit, but we get this big push upwards, and we hit my profit target. I believe it was a point above this last wick, so we were able to get filled on that. And that was, if I had played ES cons, that would have been a really nice and juicy $3,000 play, but instead we played MES, and only got $300. But 60 point play is a 60 point play, right? Maybe a couple of our members caught it. I know not too many of us were up at this hour to put this trade in, but the people that did, I know they banked quite a bit. And the second play of the day was an options play. So we had seen this big move up in the morning, right? And I guess it wasn't really that big of a move, but we get this little zone of consolidation at around, I believe this was lunch hour. But so we get this zone of consolidation. We had entered calls at around let's see, 10:21 was when I called, 10:21. So this was right before the big breakdown candle. So we actually got unlucky, and we had gotten stopped out at 1.5, right? And we were still in the voice chat at this point, but once we see this recoup and sort of recover, bounce in this zone again, we'd entered calls again, and this time our entry was 1.5, and we were just aiming for this little zone up here for a little bit of a scalp. So we'd gotten most of our, I guess, trims off here in the voice chat. We'd held, gotten out of most of mine. I'd gotten out of most. I had 2 left at this point up at these highs. So we were just going to hold them as lottos. We get this big drawdown as we get into power hour, but we hold this zone, right? We see wicks, buyers continuing to hold this up. So we're sort of optimistic in a little bit of a push higher. So we had just held these contracts. These were down like 40% at this point, but lottos only had 2 cons left. I was so focused on getting out of my one MES con that I had my brokerage had timed me out, and I was panicking to sign in the last 4 minutes of the trading session. And when I tell you I was panicking, I think we got out at these at 12:58, so 2 minutes before the bell. We got out at 10:03. I don't know what that is in percentage gain. I wasn't able to get a screenshot of my actual position just because I was panicking to sign back in, but it worked out in our favor, and we were able to get out of the last two at 10:03. These were from an entry of 1.5, so solid play there. Basically 2 for 2 on the day. And if you want more, if you want to join the live chat, the live trade, every day we stream from 6:30 in the morning all the way up to the bell, right? Might not necessarily be in a trade the whole time, but it's always great to be in a voice chat surrounded by like-minded people that are looking to get better at trading. So that's what we do, and we'll leave the link in the bio, and I will hope to see y'all in there soon.